Alright guys, welcome back to the 12 days of building. It is now day 4 and we're going to be talking about Pallet. And I'm excited. So before we get into all this stuff, let's talk about a little bit of what Pallet is. Ignore that. So here is the 16 main colors: white, grays, black, and then going right through as if it was in a chromatic scale and then ending with brown because brown is weird. Now you see that there is obviously the most of. And why was this here? There must have been a reason for it, but I don't know that reason. But each one, I think I should go to the front because some of these are directional. Each of these are able to be used to be building with, except for this one and this one. I have my stance and I am sticking to it. So each of these are able to be built with, and they're all commonly able to be farmed or collected. Now, when it comes to texturing, a lot of these top ones are important, but when it comes to palette, the main thing we want to look at is probably the bottom 4 rows. So like our bone blocks, our block of quartz, our concretes, glasses, and terracottas are very important. And when it comes to using these, there's a lot of options that people don't realize. Now, we're going to go into a few of these, but the big thing is realizing what colors work together. Now, here is a simple black floor, gray foundation, light gray walls, and a white roof without the middle filled in. We're going to be using this approach that we did over here with the trim being different than the interior block. So there's multiple ways to do it. First thing first is the monochromatic, where you take one color like red and you're able to use all the red blocks. So for instance, we can come in here and grab a random selection of these, and for the most part, as long as you're not contrasting textures, sorry, I forgot the word, it should work fine. Same with each of these colors. Now, for instance, maybe melons next to emeralds won't work as well, but the fact that we can use maybe hay and some wool and some concrete powder would work together. Now, to be able to keep things simple, we're sticking to the least textured varieties because tomorrow we'll talk about texture in depth. So if we just go around with this and fill in majority of it with the light terracotta, well, the light red or just a standard terracotta, it should look just fine with the gray palette. For now, I'm going to use this. So for now, this looks just fine. Yes, it is a bit of a boring shape, but we don't have stairs with these. Then to change out a few of these, and maybe one over here, it still looks just fine, but there's a little bit more variety to it. Now, you see, if we did the same thing, but we decided, hey, let's use light blue, then something starts to look a little strange. It looks like it might have an illness or something. So it's important to know what your palette is and to work within it, not outside of it. Some common palettes are, as I said, monochromatic, where you use the standard just purples, just blues, just greens, just reds, just browns, whatever it might be, along with your grayscale. Your grayscale is your best friend. That's why stone bricks are in every build you see. Next would be complementary colors, which is one's opposite of the color wheel, which for those of you that don't know, which is fine, they would be red and green are complementary, orange and blue are complementary, and yellow and purple are. So for instance, if we took red and green, a way to not use this is to just simply fill in the entire thing. So let me fill this in really quick and I'll catch you back with what I'm saying that you should definitely not do. Alright guys, so as you can see here, it's a little bit messy. It doesn't seem like everything fits right. It is better than the light blue in the standard terracotta, but that's because it's complementary, but this isn't quite the way it really works. Now, if we took this and decided that red is going to be our most popular block and then green will be our accent, let's just run this across here and just look at it right here at this angle. You see how this looks a lot better? Now, the issue does come with when we go up here. We have this a little bit of a strange connection here. It doesn't look bad. It actually looks quite good, but it could be better. So I'm going to show you what this looks like when it's all, you know what, we're almost there. Why bother changing something and doing fancy editing when we don't have to? So you see, we have this it's almost a Christmas feel. but it works fairly well with the build. Now, if we wanted this to be not as connected, we can simply bring this out and accent the front of it. And we're able to have this little overhang right here. And from this angle, as you can see, it's no longer connected and it looks good together. That's what complementary colors do. Another way to be able to go about this is to add some pillars, which I'll show you in just a second. When we look at this now, you can see the blue is no longer fighting, but that stark yellow is still grabbing for attention, and it's drawing your eyes to the post instead of the build as a whole. Now, one of the reasons for this, and I'm saving this to the end, is the more powerful a color is, which when you look here, yellow is probably the most powerful. Your eyes go to yellow pretty naturally because of how bright it is. Same with over here, you go to white, you don't go to dark gray or black because they aren't attention-grabbing blocks or colors. So I'm going to switch to red and yellow and just show you the effect that has on this. It's still very cartoony, but that's just simply because we're using only full blocks and very, very saturated colors. But you can see that it's no longer fighting and your attention is drawn to the roof. And if we decide to use a proud roof like we are with our spruce build over here, that'd be perfect for it. And that's what allows trietary colors to be able to work together. So to do a quick run through, when using your grays, you don't really have to think too hard. Monochromatic, use mostly your darks and use your lights as highlights, or use mostly your lights and use your darks as highlights. Do not try to make them equal because then it just looks like a mess. When it comes to these, find out which one is stronger and use the other one to support it. So use purple, use blue, or use green. Traditionally, hot colors or warm colors are stronger than cool colors. When it comes to trietary, you gotta feel it out sometimes. It's able to be a little bit difficult, but you're able to make it work. And this here in a modern build setting where it would be in a city, this would work really well for a McDonald's or something along those lines. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And from my house to yours, a Merry Christmas. If you celebrate something else, Happy Holidays. And if you don't celebrate anything at all, well, I just hope you have a great day. Catch me back tomorrow to talk about texturing in depth, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.